So welcome to Crafty Computing Tutorials. Today we're going to be doing some MakeCode. So we're going to start with, let's do free throw. So let's start the tutorial, and here we are. So it's got a block code kind of set up, like Scratch if you've ever done that, and we're going to see what it does. So line up your shot and see if you can slam dunk in this basketball free throw game. I think it's already set up. So let's start. From the scene toolbox, drag a set background image block onto the workspace and drop into on start block in the set background image block. Click on the grey oval to open the image editor and draw half of the basketball court. Okay, so we'll start. So it says from the scene toolbox, which is this, and it's only got the ones available that we need. So in scene, all we've got is this, but obviously in the normal one there's more. So click on this, and then we draw a basketball, like so. Let's start with the floor, and we'll do a box. So we'll do that, and we'll just make it simple. You can do it more complex if you want to make it look better. So we'll just do that, do the hoop, and another hoop. Alright, and we're done. Just click the done button, and it will do that. Oh, okay. So from the sprites, we've got to drag this back. So there it is, and it's got a little interface. From the sprites toolbox, so that's here, we'll get a set my sprite block and drop it after the set background image. So we need a set my sprite, so for this one, and we'll put it after that. And we'll go click on the grey oval to open the sprite image editor and select a gallery image for your player. So we need to select a gallery image, which is up here, and the player depends what you want it to be. You have pixelated or smooth. We'll do a, let's see, we'll do this one. We'll have it backwards facing or forwards facing. And so that's our player. That's the gallery image for our player. It's quite simple. So we'll go next. We need a set sprite position this time. So we'll do set my sprite position, not velocity, position, and we'll click that and put it after it, which is all in the on start. So it will just happen once we start it. So we'll stop it for a sec, and then we'll start it. And you can see really small up there is our characters. So from the sprites toolbox, drag the set my sprite position, we've done that, and put it after the set sprite block in the set my sprite. Yeah, so we've done that. In the set my sprite position, click on the X coordinate, and using the coordinate picker, select a location at the bottom of the screen. Click on it, and go middle, which is about 75. At the bottom of the screen, there we go, and then okay, then we'll add a so we'll put it down. It doesn't say that, but it doesn't say anything with the Y coordinate, but the Y is actually to put it down, so we'll put it close as we can to the bottom, bit more forward. Start. There we go, and that's about the perfect position. Obviously yours will be different to mine because you'll have a different drawn one. And next, so I think what we need now is go to the sprites toolbox, and we'll get the my sprite velocity this time. So put that under that. So we need to set the VY value to be 0 since we only want it to move horizontally. Middle zero's in the middle somewhere. There we go. So now you can see, as it says here, our character, let's stop it and start it, is there and he's going round. He'll loop back round any second, but he's going quite slow. So we don't want it to always be moving. We want it to move when we click a button. So that right, that forward, you know, that kind of thing. So we'll go into the sprite toolbox again, and we'll drag a set my sprite state in screen, which is here under the velocity. Click that, add it under the same thing, under the one we last did. So then we use the drop down menu to select the property bounce on wall and toggle the value to true. We'll go bounce on wall. And we'll see. It bounces. Oh, it didn't bounce this time. We need to make sure it's on. And then it bounces left and right, but it's still moving, so we'll see what we can do about that. So we need another set my sprite block, and we'll set, so we'll go sprites, set my sprite, and drop it after the set my sprite bounce on wall. Simple, you can just read this. If you don't understand, click on the grey oval, then we'll draw the image of a basketball hoop. This time it's a bit more blocky. We'll go like a pixel art. Do a simple hoop. For the middle, and there you can make yours a bit more complex if you want. And so we draw the image of a basketball hoop, and it's there, tiny there. It should be bigger, but we'll probably sort that out in one of the future instructions. So we've drawn the basketball, which is there. Next, and then we'll go in the one we just made, we need to click on player, and from the kind drop down menu, so we'll add a new kind of player. We'll type in, we'll add a new kind, custom kind, and we'll type in hoop. And now we've got that, that's defined as a hoop, and we can, so if we ever need to use it again, it won't be called my sprite 2, it will be called somewhere there hoop. I'll put that. Okay, so get it centralized and start it again, and let's look, hoop's still there. Okay, so now what we do is we go to the new one, and we need another set my sprite position, just like this one when we were setting the player. So centralize it again, sprites, and we'll get a set my sprite position, and we'll just put it where it tells us. So drag the under the set my sprite 2, or so in the set my sprite position, we'll click on the my sprite drop down menu and select my sprite 2, or hoop as we've defined as. In the set sprite position, we need to click the X coordinate, and using the coordinate picker, set a location near the top of the screen. So we'll go the middle, which was 75, I believe. 76, and the pixel difference, and then we'll go about there. Run it, see if it works. It's not changed, so that means you put it too far. Put it more up. There we go, and it's there, but it's still quite small. So next, we'll go from the controller toolbox, so we'll go find controller, and we'll get on a button pressed. So whichever button we want, this will probably be. So we'll just go A for now. If we can change it if you want to B, left, up, right, down, menu. So menu. So it can be any button if that's like a menu screen. It's quite good for making little games. So now from the actually, if your this is just a bit. If yours is quite small, you'll just have to redraw up a bigger. So yeah, that's what was happening. So we'll just delete all this. Get the eraser. And we'll get a box of eraser to just do it. We'll just get rid of it all. And we'll recreate it but bigger. So we'll just make it fit around the whole screen. So we'll make it this time green so it's quite, it shows up better. Put it round, and this time we'll use the circle because that's more helpful. We'll make it red. Make a little circle. Actually, we'll undo that. Actually, Control Z then, and we'll just. I can't get it right. Where does it want me to put it? There we go. Just do it like that. Then we'll finish it off. Oh, still got it on set circle, and we'll finish it off just like that. We'll just make it. This just make it bigger. See what it looks like now. Still quite small. So what I've done is, so you'll go into your editor. So click the grey oval, and here it might be small, might be covered by your bottom scroll bar, but just scroll down. Don't zoom in. And what you'll need to do is we'll just put it in there so we can see it, and see at the bottom left, you have to, so originally it's 16 or whatever yours is for the sprite. I've made it 30 by 30, so it's quite a bigger square for us to work with. Once again, I'll have to annoyingly delete it all. Okay. And I'll just go over it. And once it's all deleted, we'll have to make it one more time, but obviously a lot bigger. It doesn't matter for me. If you want to make yours a bit more better than this, feel free to. Like that. And not a circle, but don't really care. Yeah. So now you'll see, once we run it, it's a lot bigger and more basketball hoop looking sized. It doesn't tell you that in the tutorial, so if you need to do that, do that. So we'll go from the sprites toolbar, we need to drag a select projectile to. So we'll go sprites, set projectile to projectile from. That's it. We'll click on it and put it in our new one that we just added. So once that's there, it's closely there, we'll need to click on the grey oval as usual, open the sprite image editor, and we'll get the image of a basketball. Let's just check first of all if there's any basketballs. There's pucks, mushrooms. It's everything you'd need for a game. We'll just use this, not that. That one. Done. Let's see how small it is. Oh, we need to set the projectile. So, and obviously set its position. So, but we'll probably do that in one of the further steps. So, it's game over. Okay, so we'll go sprites, set velocity to put that under that. Set our first projectile to, oh, first of all, before we do that, Vx value needs to be 0. If you can't do that, just type it in. System. There we go. 0, 0 by Vy 100, as it says there. Pop that back in, and we'll go set the Vx value to 0. Okay, so we'll go back just to see if it says anything else that we've missed. So we've got that. We want the basketballs to travel from our player to up to the hoop. He's still moving left and right. So we'll go, so we want it to go upwards. So in the set projectile block, that's either of these, I don't know. So we'll set this to 0 and this to minus 100. Does it, we need to check. One sec. I've added this, assumed that's what it meant. So set projectile to. Okay, we'll just take that out for now because I think I wasn't supposed to add that. If you've added that, just take it out just to see. So yeah. So go to the next step. We want the basketball to travel from our player vertically upwards in the set projectile block. So so it says there, so we need it to be 0 and minus 100. So I shouldn't have added it there. So we'll pop it down here and put it back in. So 0, that's fine. Minus 100. Add it in the 0. That's what it should look like. Projectile from my sprite, which is him there. My sprite, make sure not it's my sprite 2, because then it would come from the basketball. So as a hoop. Once we've done that, we'll go back to the sprites toolbox, drag an on my sprite overlaps. So when it overlaps other sprite, all that stuff. And then so we've got one of them blocks, and we'll just this here. What's on about? Bin it. Don't need that. So under that, we'll put on my sprite kind of player overlaps. So drop it onto the workspace. So it's not. Make sure I don't put it in one of these. Just put it here. So when the sprite like either gets onto, when the basketball gets onto here, it does something. So click both on the player and change. So we make it so we don't want it so when he hits it, it goes on. We want it so when the basketball hits it, it goes on. But it's called projectile. So, and change the other to hoop. This one here to hoop. Next, we'll go from the game toolbox, drag a game over block. So once it does that, you win. Win. And that's it. So this is what it looks like. What we call free throw automatically, and once we got to press A on the right time, throw it, and then we win. It's quite simple. It has things that are already there. So, for example, the gallery things, the basketball, things like that. It has